from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Batham Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is the Social and ISO Certified International Educational and Training Institute. In last 2 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. In Institute of Global Professional, IGP is the training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by informal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institute from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar, courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and Val knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning game website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help the empower to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by global linear professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support, we already completed 1,639 webinars successfully. Moving to the next with your continuous support, we already completed 1,639 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website, www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, from now, we are going to launch our quiz from our website. We replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time-oriented because after the session, we will not provide any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of instant certificates from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities in the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeker 2020, 2021, 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling Organization Leadership and Managerial Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Art. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tool in Teaching Mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for kids, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 plus student services website for free and many more. Dear IGP will wish we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous issue. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all website details. It's a cordial request to check our button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. And present, we are going to start our 1640 webinar, which name is Expanded Core Curriculum for the Visually Impaired. And today our speaker name is Dr. R. Zumana. She is from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, wants to share a really little bit about her. Associate Assistant Professor, Visual Impairment, Department of Teacher Training and Non-Formal Education, IASE, Jamia Millia Islamia, a center University, New Delhi, India. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, please present your presentation.
Yes. Good afternoon to all. I'm very happy to be here once again in this platform. Is this clear? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, please make it fully screen.
Oh, yes, I will do it. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear. Ma'am, the stage is here. You can start your presentation now.
Okay. Okay, I'm very happy to be here once again in this platform. It's a great opportunity for me to share this topic, that is expanded core curriculum for visually impaired. Many of the special education teachers who are all working with the visually impaired children may know about this expanded core curriculum. But for other academicians and for other teacher educators and inclusive education teachers, this may be a new topic. So I'm going to explain this topic and discuss about the importance of this thing for the visually impaired children. Before going to the exact topic of expanded core curriculum, I want to discuss few things related to this. That is core curriculum. Usually, when we talk about this curriculum, immediately what comes to our mind is the school children and their academics. Because in schools, they have some set of syllabus for the children. They have to complete the syllabus within that particular year to promote for the next year. So in schools, they will provide some curriculum. So in that, the school will give the knowledge, skills, and attitudes for the children. So generally, what happens is in schools they may have these subjects like language, mathematics, science, arts, and physical education and social studies. So here, this all these subjects are called as core curriculum, and every child in the classroom should complete all these subjects, all these curriculum without any disparity or discrimination in the students. What I'm telling is here, There will be no difference for the children who are all having problem in learning and for the normal children. Every child in the class should learn this core curriculum to promote for the next class. So, inclusive education. So, inclusive education nowadays we all are talking about inclusive education. So, here not only the education for the disabled children but also for all the children without any discrimination in the age, class, sex, race, and language. So, here we all know that the children having disabilities, the different types of disabled children are also included in the inclusive education setup. So the main role here is the role for the general education teachers who is teaching in that class. So the class teacher has to manage. She has to take care of all the children, including the special children. The special children may be visually impaired, hearing impaired, intellectually disabled, or with other additional disabilities. So what happens here is the classroom teacher is responsible for teaching the children with the blindness, low vision, deaf blindness, and associated conditions in the normal classroom. But because the ECC, what I told earlier, the main topic, the ECC covers the unique specialized needs of the children with visual impairment. So they should taught these expanded core curriculum. This curriculum should be taught by the specialized the teacher, that is the special educator will help the general education teacher and they will teach in group. The next one is IEP, that is individualized education program. So this individualized education program or plan which can be prepared for every disabled child in the classroom. So what the teacher will do is first the teacher will do the assessment for the child. What is the child's need to identify the need of the child? Then the teacher will prepare this individualized education program. So the teacher will identify the strength and the weakness of the student. Based on that, she will prepare this program for the year. It is an annual program. She prepares an annual program. So she will set some goals and whatever the child needs, based on that, she will prepare some accommodations. She will do some accommodations and modifications in the common core curriculum. And what are the things the child needs? Suppose the child may need some additional services or the some child may need some assistive technology devices. So everything will be written in this IEP file and the document, the IEP document. So the teacher, whoever comes into that class, will come to know about the need of the child and the every detail of that particular child. So now the visual impairment, the ECC expanded core curriculum is mainly for the visually impaired children. So what happens here is the vision is a primary sensory system that everyone uses to learn. So what happens in the visually impaired children? Usually the normal children learn in the format of um, whole to that is part to whole to part method. But what happens in the visually impaired children is here they will learn from earlier stage. In the earlier stage itself, the teacher will start the concepts in with the real uh, objects. So in ECC, this expanded core curriculum will compensate their vision loss in learning the education, and it will give the skills to become independent throughout their lifetime. So what is ECC for learners with visual impairment? So this expanded core curriculum was first characterized by Phil Hatlin in 1996, and he gave this curriculum filled with full of skills for the people with visual impairment. Here I'm mentioning the word visual impairment. It is not only for the children with visual impairment, but also for the children with low vision, not only the totally blind, low vision child and the deaf blind children, and also for children with additional disabilities. That means the child may have some other problem. That is, the child may have cerebral palsy along with visual impairment, or hearing impairment along with visual impairment. So here, uh, this ECC helps them. This curriculum helps them to live an independent life. So, why this expanded core curriculum is needed? In a general classroom, every child will observe everything and they will do on their own. They can observe everything through their vision. But for the visually impaired children, it is a big challenge. So, to compete with the normal children, they need some skills. So, this skill is given through this expanded core curriculum. So, the competency in the expanded core curriculum subject is needed for the visually impaired children to enjoy a rich life, not only in the earlier stage, it helps throughout their lifetime. Now, let us see the details of the expanded core curriculum. The term expanded core curriculum is used to define concepts and skills that often require specialized instruction with the students who are blind or visually impaired in order to compensate for decreased opportunities to learn incidentally by observing others. So, this curriculum is oriented full and fully towards helping the students with visual impairment. So the importance, what are the importance of this expanded core curriculum? So when a teacher wants, if a new teacher enters into a class and she may get in the first year of her job, she may get a new child with visual impairment. She may get confused what to do with that child. So if she knows about the expanded core curriculum, what are the skills needed for the visually impaired children? Everything is given in the CCC. So if she knows that, then she can do the assessment using the ECC assessment tool, so that she can find out the strength and weakness of the child and she can plan according to the child. It gives the what are the skills needed for the children in different areas, and it helps the child to become independent, and it also helps the child to learn self-advocacy. Wherever she wants, whatever she wants, she can advocate for her own rights. Then it will develop the special learning styles. Yes, it's true, because every one of us have some different learning styles. So after providing this ECC, they will develop their own learning styles to make them very strong. So to compete with the normal children in the regular classroom, they need some specific skills. The visually impaired children need some specific skills. So let us see what are they. That is using braille reading and writing. For normal children, they will use the printed books and paper, pen and pens to write the notes. But for the special children, they need braille books, braille slate, and stylus to read and write. And the next important skill they need is orientation and mobility. That is to move from one place to another place without the support of anyone. They need this skill. Then the third important skill they need is technological skill. Nowadays, there are lots of technologies available for the visually impaired persons. Many things are available. The technology has reduced their disadvantages, but disadvantages of visual impairment. But the visually impaired person should know how to use that technology. So the skill, the usage of the technology skill is very very important. How to use the technology devices, that is very very important for the visually impaired children, and they have to um, They will learn how to use what vision they have effectively and efficiently. Usually, we say it as residual vision. For some children with visual impairment, they have some remaining vision. So we have to encourage and motivate them to use their residual vision. And in the deafblind case, deafblind children, they may have some residual hearing. In that children also, we have to encourage them to use their residual hearing. So these are some of the specific skills they need to compete in the regular classroom. So the expanded core curriculum consists of 9 components. So under these 9 components, many skills have been given. So I will discuss the components one by one here. The first component is, so here I want to show you the screening tool also. So the curriculum is there. Along with that, a screening tool is also available. So if we use this tool after giving the training in the expanded core curriculum, we can use this screening tool to assess the child. What are the strengths and weakness of the child after learning this uh, curriculum? Otherwise, for a new child also, without before teaching the expanded core curriculum, also we can use this screening tool to know the strength and weakness of the child. This is not only used by the teachers, but also the parents, the educated parents can also use this tool to know about the strength and weakness of their child. So this is the screening tool. So for every component, I will show you the screening tool. What are the skills included in that expanded core curriculum under each component that I will show you. So in the first page of this tool, they have asked for their personal information of the student and the date of needs assessment. Below that, they have given check all who contributed to this need assessment. That is parents, student, family members, general education teachers, special education teachers, teachers for visually impaired, orientation and mobility specialists, and other related service providers and administrators. So here you may think why they have included all these persons here. So the parents are the first person who can give the details about the children in clear. Then the particular student, with that particular student, we can check. In case of children who are all having problem in communication, mostly the parents will support in this screening tool. Then the other family members and the general education teachers. So in inclusive setup, that's why I have discussed the topic inclusive education in the first slide. That is, in inclusive education setup, the general education teacher has more responsibility. So they should also involve in this screening system. Then the next one is the special education teacher. So the special education teacher may be specialized in visual. She should specialize in visual impairment so that she can handle the child and she can understand the concepts what are all to be assessed. Then the teachers for visually impaired. Then O&M specialist. That is orientation and mobility specialist. There should be a special person for this to teach the orientation and mobility, and also the other related service providers, and also the school administrators. Below that, you may see the key strength and the need need at this time. That is, strength is plus and the need is minus, and not needed at this time. We can put it as 0. Next, I'm coming to the next thing, that is, what are the compensatory skills they need? That is, the specific reading and writing methods of Braille. So, I will show you the picture. What is this Braille here? This is the first picture is the Braille book. Second is the Braille slate and stylus, and the third one is the Taylor frame, which is used for mathematics, and fourth one is the abacus, which is also used for mathematics. Then the next one is the large magnifier, which is used to see the letters in big size. Then the fourth one is large print books. So the child should need the reading and writing, specific reading and writing methods of braille. The child should know how to write in the braille and how to read in the braille. That is the most important thing. For normal children, they should know to write in the notebook. The same procedure they have here. If you see in this braille book, braille sheet, it's full of dots. So this is a combination of six dots. They will, the students will learn these things. Then the next one is the regular print. Print is here the normal book what we use. So the normal book is the in the regular classroom, the core curriculum books. Along with that, based on the need of the child, optical devices can be given to the child. So the child should be familiar in the with the usage of optical devices to read the regular print. And the large print books. Large print, this is also given for the low vision child. So usually the normal print size in our book is from 11 size. Font size is 11, but for the large print it starts from minimum of 18 inches. Okay, the font size is 18. So the child should also know the voice output technology, how to use that voice output technology. So these compensatory skills include listening, speaking, study and organization, concept development, and spatial understanding. So let us see the organization skills. What is this organization skills? So students, that is the children with visual impairment, may not able to observe the things visually. Because of this problem, they may have problem in organizing the things on their own. For example, their own, even their books they may not able to organize, even their stationary items, many things they have problem in arranging, in organizing. Then the concept development. Concept, this is a very critical, crucial thing that usually the sighted children learn through their vision. That is, the learn the concepts from whole to part. They see the big picture first, then they learn about the components of that object later. For example, apple, if I'm showing the picture of an apple to them, they will learn that this is an apple. After that, we can teach them the apple is in red color, then the taste of the apple is sweet, then the size is, it is in this circle shape. Likewise we can teach. But in the case of the visually impaired children, due to the lack of vision, it's very difficult to learn from the um, whole to part. So what happens here is the opposite, the reversal procedure we will follow here. First, we will give them apple in the hands. So they will touch the apple. They feel the apple first, then they smell, taste, then they learn about the particular concept. So only through the experience they are learning. So they learn the concept from part to whole and the other discrete parts of an objects. The next is the spatial understanding. So the spatial understanding, the concepts such as up, down, on, then front, back, under, top, in and out should be taught to these children at the earlier stage itself, and it will provide some foundational knowledge to the later experience. So the spatial sense gives children an awareness of themselves in relation to people and objects. In mostly in mathematics, involve the shape, size, space, position, direction, and movement. So this knowledge is not easy to acquire for the visually impaired children. It will take more time for them to understand. The next one is the study skills. So it is also another important component in this compensatory skill. So usually in the classroom, the students may take notes in their notebook. They will underline the important points in the books, and they may highlight the important points. But for the visually impaired children, it is not possible. So in such conditions, we have to provide the learning media according to their needs. So already I told about the print size, isn't it? So here the learning media is mainly about the braille through which the child learn. That is called learning media. One is braille, then the one is large print method, large print book. So and the third one is the printed books. So in which learning media the child is comfortable. So we have to find that media first, then we can provide the learning media. So after making the child to learn comfortably with the learning media, we can teach the students the visual organization of the textbook. That is, in the books, first they will have the titles, then the chapters, and the section headings, and the side bars will be there, then tables of the contents and the indexes. So we can give the um, organization, visual organization of the book to the child. After they learn to use their learning media comfortably. The learning media is braille or large print material or the printed book with magnifying devices. So these are the skills included in the compensatory skills. That is the communication and type, handwriting, tactual readiness, braille reading including fluency, braille writing, and Nimat code. Nimat code means it is a mathematical code. In braille, we have codes for English alphabet separately and for mathematics. So Nimat code is for mathematics. Then slate and stylus, that is the braille slate, which I showed you earlier. How they are using the slate and stylus, that should be assessed. Then the effective use of optical devices for literacy to read, how they are using their optical devices, that is the magnifiers or some other optical devices. Then calculators, talking calculators are available for the visually impaired children, so they should have this skill of using the talking calculators. Then abacus is used to teach mathematics. One more picture also I showed you, that is the Taylor frame, that is also used for teaching the mathematics. Then they should have the listening skills and the organization skill. So this page is from the tool. So the child, we should teach these compensatory skills to the child first, then we can assess what are the skills their child is having. Even if you are not teaching to the child, if the child is new to the class, the teacher may assess the child using this tool whether they are having the skills or not. If the child is not having having the particular skill, then the teacher can prepare a program for the child to teach this particular concepts. So this is also the skills under the compensatory thing, that is study and reference skills, use of live reader, use of charts, graphs, maps. That is charts, graphs, and maps. What the normal children normally use in the class may not be used for. That is not used for the visually impaired children. For visually impaired children, we have to prepare a tactual charts, tactual graphs, and tactual maps. That is the embossed diagrams we have to prepare. Then the scientific notation. For scientific notation, they have separate codes. That is in mathematics, we will put the units, that is into 10 power minus 2. For that, they have separate uh, codes. And in the science also, they will learn the scientific notations. That is, for example, I can tell you that, for example, water, H plus O2 gives H2O. So this for this also they have to learn the scientific notation. The same thing like in the music also they have the notations. So if there is need for the child to learn the music notation, then we have to teach that skill. And if the child is already in the music class, then we will assess that particular skill. If I have shown nearly 2 pages here. If anything is not needed according to their age, then we can mention in the justification statement. For example, if I am assessing a child um, at the age of 4 years, there are 3 years. If the child is new to that particular class, at this stage, I cannot assess the limit code because the child is new, so the child don't know. So I can mention it is not appropriate for the child's age. So justification statement I can write like that. If the child is having that skill, then I can put plus in the key part. If the child is not having the skill, then I can put minus in the key part. So the next important skill is orientation, and the second core component of this expanded core curriculum is orientation and mobility. First, let me explain what is this orientation first. That is a person's ability to use their senses to know where he is in that environment. I should know where I am now. That is orientation. And mobility is a person's capability and readiness to move in that environment without any support. So that is mobility here. So this skill is to orient the children who are blind or low vision to their surroundings, and travel skills to enable them to move independently and safely in the environment. So some of the techniques are available in the ONM. That is human guide technique, and it is otherwise called as sighted guide techniques. Many of us have seen the persons with visual impairment or traveling in the bus. In many places we have seen. So what they will do is, some few people may use the canes, white canes for their travel, but few people they will not do so. For that people, the sighted guide technique will help. Sighted guide technique is, if suppose a visually impaired person is walking on the road, if we are guiding them, then that is called the sighted guide technique. Then the next one is adaptive canes. Many canes are available now, white canes, long canes, and many um, technologies are added in that canes also. So the scale, for the scale, how to use the scale, that also should be trained to the children with visual impairment. Then recognizing cues and landmarks. Suppose if a visually impaired child is walking on the road, there they may have some cues and landmarks. They should be able to understand the cues and landmarks clearly. For that also, in orientation and mobility classes, the teacher will train the child. Then, moving through space by walking or using a wheelchair. Suppose if a child is using the wheelchair, then they should know how to move with that wheelchair. Then, requesting assistance. This is very important skill. Um, that is, uh, if they are in need of assistance of a person, they should be ready to request to some person. So that how to request, there is a we can't order to someone. Requisition means, so they have to learn how to request to a person to get their assistance. So these are some of the pictures for your clarification. That is, in first picture, the lady is using the cane. Then in the next picture also, she is using a cane, but she is identifying the cues on the roadways. In the third picture also, we have the cues. Yeah, nowadays, in everywhere, in lifts, in trains, and in the roadways, everywhere they are giving the government is giving the landmarks and cues for the visually impaired persons. So these are some of the skills under the orientation and mobility component. That is concept development, body image, protective concept development. I already told the concept development, how we are teaching the concept development to the visually impaired children. Concept, it's in everywhere the concept is there. So uh, its concept development is the most important thing in the orientational mobility. Then they should know about their um, own body, that is the body image, then the protective technique, how they have to protect themselves without hitting on any object. So that thing also trained under this orientational mobility, sighted guide technique, then trailing, then search patterns, how to search for patterns on the roads or somewhere where they have given the cues. Then cane skills, how to use the cane. That is a procedure for using this cane. So the orientation mobility specialist can teach the usage how to use the cane. Then independent travel in familiar environment. So the how they are traveling in the familiar environment, that is in their home, in their school, and in their working places. And the independent travel in unfamiliar environment. If they are going to a new place, how they are uh, uh, using, how they are independent. So for all these things, they have to learn the orientation and mobility. Then public transportation, how they are using the public transportation independently, how to ask assistance from the neighbors, then use of distance optical devices, how to use the optical devices. So these are the skills that are given under the orientation and mobility. The next skill, the next core component under the ECC is social interaction. So social interaction, after this COVID, normal with even in the normal children, the social interaction got decreased. Particularly for this visually impaired, this is the main thing they should have. Um, First of all, for learning. So the having reduced vision can make it more difficult for students with visual impaired to acquire information about their social environment. So usually they may not mingle, they may not able to pick up the non-verbal cues, and they may have problem in making eye contact. So in some children they may have complex and they isolate on their own, but they should have the skills to respond appropriately and participate actively in the society. They should have some of the social interaction skills, that is shaking hands, then turning, if someone is speaking, then they have to turn towards the others, then using language to make a request. If they need something, immediately they have to request to um, nearby person. Then decline assistance. This is also very important. For example, if a visually impaired girl is walking on the road, if some boy is uh, assisting it, if he is asking for us, shall I assist for you? That time, if she don't want that assistance, she should decline that assistance immediately. So for that also we have to train the child, and or express a need. If she needs something, then she should express. Then expressing emotion and affection appropriately, then participating appropriately in conversation in various situations. So these are the skills under the social interaction: nonverbal communication, courteous behavior, personal and civic responsibility, recognition and expression of emotions. So they should have the skill of recognition also. What type of emotion they are the other person is expressing, and they should also have the skill of expressing their own emotions. Then personal and social aspects of sexuality. Then the next component in the ECG is the independent living. So this is the main component, independent living. For this only, we are talking all, discussing all these things. So the independent living, it is otherwise called as daily living skills. That is, it consists of tasks and functions that people perform in accordance with their abilities in order to lead their lives with as much as independent as possible. So mostly we focus on the academic part of the children, and sometimes and we may leave this independent living part. So it is a very important thing in the uh, life of the transition of the child from school to uh, vocational area or to the working area. So some of the things included in the independent living is skills needed to function as independently as possible in school and at home, including personal grooming. They should not depend on others for their personal caretaking. Then time management, then cooking, cleaning, clothing care, and money management. So let us see this skills here. Dressing or clothing management. So they should handle their own uh, clothings. For that also we have to train them. Then personal hygiene, grooming. In early stage, the parents may support, but after some time they have to manage on their own. For that they should be trained in all these skills. Toileting and feminine hygiene, it's very important for the girls after their puberty. Then eating or food management, then housekeeping and home maintenance, then obtaining and using money. For small things can be trained to the child in using the money at the early stage, so that it will help them to give confidence, get confidence to use the money in the later stage. Then time concepts and health and safety. The next component in the expanded core curriculum is recreation and leisure. So, this recreation, leisure, and fitness are some of the areas that need to be addressed to the children with visual impairment, low vision, and deafblind children. So, this may provide critical support to a wide range of student capacities in the areas of social interaction, orientation and mobility, independent living, and self determination. So, many research shows that recreation is an important factor in the quality of life for everyone. So it must be intentionally and systematically taught with these specific techniques and safety in mind. So, by participating with the classroom peers, students with visual disabilities learn the foundational sport and fitness skills that enhance the lives of all children. So, many of the physical education activities are nowadays adapted and modified, particularly for the visually impaired children. So we have to give more opportunities for them to participate in the physical education activities. Here, the recreation and leisure skills to ensure students' enjoyment of physical and leisure time activities, including making choice about how to spend their leisure time. They should know how to spend their leisure time, and actively participating in physical and social recreational activities, and following the rules in games and activities at an appropriate level. Then, during their leisure activities, they should also know the safety, how to be safety in that activities. So, the management of leisure time, solitary play and leisure activities, physical games and sports, pets and nature, music and dance, arts and crafts, drama, science and technology. These are some of the recreational and leisure skills for the visually impaired children. The next core component is sensory efficiency. So, when we talk about the sensory efficiency, here the senses, that is the senses what we use to uh, identify the things. Most the senses such as vision, hearing, touch, smell, taste. The everyone should able to use all these senses. There is a myth that visually impaired children has they have superior hearing power when compared to the normal person, but it is not true. What happens here is, because of the loss of one sense organ, they automatically efficiently using the other sense of hearing. So whatever they are hearing, they are practicing on their own, and they become successful in the um singing. So there is it's just a myth that they have special power of singing. So usually these children learn to associate the sounds with meanings. So listening skills is more important for the visually impaired children. And the other sensory thing is the use of the touch to gain access to the information. So mainly they mostly use the touch to explore the things. They use the touch sense. Then the so sensory efficiency skill helps students to use the senses, including any functional vision, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. Some of the sensory efficiency skills they can use here is learning how to use optical devices, then demonstrating the use of augmentative and alternative communication devices. That is, this one is used for the children with deaf blindness. Then utilizing touch and vision to identify personal items, then using sense of smell to know when nearing to the school cafeteria. Apart from this, they need the touch sense, very very important thing for their academic purpose. To write and read the braille letters, they need this tactual sense, which is more important for them. So these are some of the activities. So the visual under sensory efficiency, they have categorized into visual, tactual, likewise. So in first visual, choose a device appropriate for the visual task. They should have this skill. Then communicates purpose and function of prescribed optical devices, then how to use that particular device they should know, then demonstrate daily maintenance of optical device. Whatever optical device they are using, they should know how to maintain them. Then they should use their optical devices on their own. Then they should have the knowledge of prescribed optical device, and they should have the fluency with the optical devices which they use in the classroom. Under tactual, they should have the skill of exploring the things tactually, and they recognize tactile characteristics of the object while touching, while exploring the things tactually. They can recognize the characteristics of the objects. Then interprets tactile stimuli, then interpret graphic information. So for interpreting this graphic information and interpreting the tactile stimuli, they need knowledge. So that should also be trained by the teacher. Then auditory sense, in that they should have the skill of discrimination, association, then short-term memory. In auditory, the discrimination is um, that there may be different sounds at the background. They should able to discriminate the sound which one is needed, because they don't know, because they are they don't have the uh, skill of seeing through the eyes. So they should have the skill of discriminating the sounds. Then the association, which sound is for which object. Then the short-term memory they should have, long-term memory, then listening for meaning. So the listening skill is more important for them, and the skills for using taped materials or listening experience. Suppose the teacher is preparing some notes in the classroom and she is recording the things and she is sending to the students, means the students should have the skill of using that um, recorded things. These are secondary learning skills, that is olfactory, gustatory, kinesthetic, and other skills. The next core component in the ECC is the use of technology. Already I told there are lots and lots of technologies are available for the visually impaired person, and which has reduced their uh, 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 reduce many problems in the life of the visually impaired persons. So the skills used to device such as computers or other electronic equipment that make it easier to function effectively in school, at home, and in the workplace. So if they know how to use these technology, then they become very confident, independent, and successful. So here, if I talk about the technology, we call it as assistive technology for the special children. That is the special devices and softwares that people with the disabilities can use to access the environment and gain information from the environment. So the increased options for access to materials and general curriculum for the visually impaired poor children and deafblind children are available now with the help of this technology. But what happens here is many technologies are available which has reduced their disability. But the main thing is every child should know how to use this technology. The knowledge of using the technology is more important. So that should be trained in the ECs. So they need more time to learn this technology. In visually impaired children, it may take more time, but once they learn, then they will use it throughout their lifetime. They will become independent. So the technologies are the computer keyboarding. So in keyboards, they have large size keyboards are available for them. Then uh, use of screen readers. Screen reader is whatever written on the screen. It is using the JAS software. They can use this screen reader technology. Then braille technology is available. Then output voice output technology, screen enlargement, managing or securing equipment, then management of electronic text. So these things are not only for the visually impaired children, but also um, for other disabled children and also for the children with additional disabilities. Even many of us are using some of the technologies in our daily life. Then career education. So the next component here is the career education. Already I told this expanded core curriculum is not only for the school children but also for the um, children who are going for, out from the school and who are all going for their jobs. So it is the knowledge, career education is the knowledge and skills that every children and youth learn to successfully transition from school environment to adult roles, including training, employment, to work or work related activities and independent living. So we should start this career education for the children as early as possible. So, to have these things, they should have the awareness, exploration, preparation, and placement. These four important things are needed for the career education. So, what is this awareness? So, these children may have limited awareness of themselves and the world around them due to the inability to observe the environment. So normal children learn these things through behavior of the other children. So creating awareness among visual children is very very important in this area. Then exploration. So it is critical activity for children with blindness and low vision. So teachers and parents can provide clear verbal signed descriptions and structured activities to teach children about these skills, tasks, challenges, and outcomes of a wide variety of job and the career opportunities available in our society. And then we have to prepare, that is these students need early work related opportunities, that is in the school itself, to prepare for adult work roles. For example, the uh, volunteer work, the job trials, then job shadowing, and even paid part-time work can also be given to the children. Then placement, that is regardless of barriers, access to early or entry level work is crucial in preparing youth with visual disabilities for job after high school. So this career education is a very very important thing to become independent in their life. So these are some of the skills included in the career education. knows function of community workers, follows simple or complex classroom and school rules, initiate and complete school assignments on time, demonstrate concern for quality of work, identify educational services, then develop a statement on eye condition and needed accommodations, then assuming the responsibility for obtaining supplies resources, then explore realistic options for future education and career program. The next component in the ECC is the self-determination. So it is very important uh, for the not only for the visually impaired persons but also for the normal persons. So the importance of developing self-confidence among the visually impaired, the students have to identify their own interest, values, and motivations, as well as a personal understanding of their own abilities and limitations. This is very important here. And the visually impaired and some of the children, such as they may have some skills of having setting goals and problem solving skills and decision making skills. So some children may have and some may not have. So we have to give them opportunity to make decisions, and we should give more opportunity to solve the problems and to take the responsibilities. So these all things should be start from the class and from the home. So they have to find the peer. So these children have to, for example, let me show the skills what are included in this. That is self-awareness. They should know about them. Then decision making skill, problem solving, then goal setting and attainment, self observation, evaluation and reinforcement, self instruction, choice making, advocacy. So the self advocacy plays an important role here. Whatever they want, whatever rights they want, they have to advocate. They have to have a guts to advocate for themselves. So they should have the self advocacy skills. Then only they can fulfill all their needs. Then self understanding, then facilitation of IEP and team meeting, then able to describe and explain eye condition. So these are some skills under the self determination. So how they can practice this self determination? So they can set their own personal goals, and they can solve problems that act as barrier to achieving these goals. Then they can prepare some select some appropriate choice based on personal preferences, advocate themselves. So they have to in classroom, the children have to find their peers who can help them. Then they have to complete the school works before they join for leisure activities. So these things will also um, help in the self determination. Then they have to ask to the teachers to provide the material in advance. That is for their self advocacy. They can do these things. So, apart from the above mentioned nine core concepts, these things also can be trained to them. That is the fine motor skills, gross motor skills, speech and language skill, hearing, and behavior. So, after seeing all these nine core components of the expanded core curriculum, it's very clear. If a child is admitted new to a classroom, then the teacher, the inclusive education teacher and the special educator have major responsibility to teach this expanded core curriculum to the particular visually impaired child or low vision or the child with deaf blindness or the child with additional disabilities. After teaching all the curriculum to the all this expanded core curriculum to the child, the teacher have to assess the child using the tool which I showed you in the previous slides. After assessing, what the teacher have to do, the teacher have to prepare the IEP. that is individualized education program plan. She has to plan for an annual program. Yearly once they have to do this assessment and they have to prepare the IEP. Then the teacher has to start the teaching. If there is a new child, what are their negatives in the child? What are the weakness in the child that we have to find out? After finding that, we have to prepare the IEP. Based on the IEP, they have to start their teaching according to the need of this time, the need of the child. They have to change the teaching methodology. If they learn all this, they will become independent throughout their lifetime. So, to conclude this, I know all these things may seem like lot for a child with visual impairment. It is not an easy job for a teacher to teach all these skills. But once we teach all these things to the child will become independent throughout his lifetime. So it is all in the hands of the teachers to make all the visually impaired children independent. Thank you. If anyone is having any doubts
Thank you so much,
regarding this
ma'am, for
topic,
your
you can.
inspiring presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, I think after your wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process, visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next, which is learning test passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the course. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is a learning test passing mark 80%. If pass back to the course again to download your certificate, you fail to detect the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue the quiz session from our website. So to join the quiz session, you have to go www.slide.com and find the quiz, and the code is 82326435. I repeat the code 82326435. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. And one people who have contested our quiz session right now. Our first question is true or false? All SWBI use only the expanded core curriculum for education. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 2 is the right answer. 58% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is one component of the extended core curriculum for a student with visual impairments is option 1 orientations and mobility, option 2 math skills. Option 1 is the right answer. 85% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our third question is which of the following is not an area of extended core curriculum for a student with visual disabilities? Option 1 competency skill, option 2 literacy skill. Option 2 is the right answer. 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our fourth question is which is not a part of extended core curriculum for a student with visual impairments? Option 1 computer skills, option 2 mathematics skills. Option 2 is the right answer. 60% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our fifth question is which is not a part of extended core curriculum for a student with visual impairments? Option 1 competence skill, option 2 math. Option 2 is the right answer. 90% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our sixth question is what is considered our core curriculum for the behavior side of MTSS? Option 1, second step, Gallows choice and PBIS. Option 2, WWE, SRSS and UFC. Option 1 is the right answer. 67% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Timothy is holding the first position. Our seventh question is which extended core curriculum used for? Option 1, OSTEM. Option 2, blind visual impairment. Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Timothy is holding the first position. Our eighth question is what is the expanded core curriculum? Option 1, extended time. Option 2, instruction in functional life skills. Option 2 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Timothy is holding the first position. Our ninth question is which is not the expanded core curriculum? Option 1, self-determination. Option 2, emotional interaction skills. Option 2 is the right answer. 73% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Timothy is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the session is how many domains are within the extended core curriculum? Option 1, 7. Option 2, 9. Option 2 is the right answer and 57% people are right here. So congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skills. Never stop learning cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to go on the people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, I can want to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.